In today's video, I'll be talking about the top 25 most hated extreme demons in Geometry Dash. A few videos ago, I had made a video talking about the most enjoyed extreme demons on the Pornocrate demon list. In this video, I'll be talking about the bottom 25 extreme demons when it comes down to enjoyment. This video goes beyond just the extreme demons on the demon list, unlike the last video. I did this because most of these are on the list anyway, and I haven't actually made a video talking about the worst extreme demons in the game, whether they're on the list or not. So I think it'd be a cool idea. Yet again, this video would not be possible to help with the EDEL. Like always, they have the gold mine of opinions and enjoyment averages for any extreme demon that you may want to look at. If it's on the list or not, it doesn't matter. They have everything. It is quite literally the gold mine, like I said. So make sure to go show them support. The link will be provided in the description of today's video. Like always, if you like this type of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button to show your support, and also like the video as well. It only helps, especially if you like what you see. Thanks like always, and enjoy the video. To start things off for today's video, we have the Ultimate Phase, a popular collaboration from 1.9 that was originally hack verified by its host. This level quite didn't age that well from its release, and is a beginner extreme demon that I think you should have second thoughts on doing this as your first extreme demon. At number 24, we have probably the least shocking placement on this list with Slato. Honestly, expected this to be higher up on the list given the simple fact that it is the most disliked extreme demon on the GD servers. I think SlayGD is a great creator, but personally, he for sure dropped the bag quite hard on this one. Moving on to number 23, Widestep makes an appearance. I personally don't know too much about this level other than the fact that it currently sits number 68 on the Pornocrate demon list. Obviously, with this placement on the list at number 23, it is easy to agree upon that people really dislike this level. While it uses a cool song, it doesn't look all that interesting either. Next, at number 22, we meet another extreme demon in Untitled Unmastered. Now, unlike Widestep, I actually think that this level has some very interesting qualities like its intensity and unique gameplay approach. With that being said, just because it is unique does not mean it's good. It holds some of the most frustrating gameplay upon the list, so it makes sense why it's placed here at number 22. At number 21, we have the hardest spam demon in Overkill. This placement also makes quite a lot of sense, just because the gameplay has a hard time being fun for most of the community. Its difficulty also doesn't really help. Speaking of which, there is no actual idea on the difficulty range of this level, just because the gameplay is so diverse in opinions. Who would have thought that high CPS gameplay wouldn't be something fun to play? Moving on to number 20, we visit our first, and not last, 9 Circles Extreme Demon. This level has a lot of terrible qualities in my opinion. Not only is it one of the most hated extreme demons when it comes to enjoyment, but I think the decoration is very poor and not interesting at all. Along with that, the song is one of the worst in the entire game in my opinion. So this placement yet again makes sense, at least for me. Next at number 19, there is yet again another list demon in Descent into Exile. This level is the most serious but also non-serious extreme demon of all time. It is funny for how serious this level is just to end up being the most mediocre shit in all qualities. Yes, it may not look terrible, but far from anything remarkable. At number 18, we have a very uninteresting glow flow level in Emptiness. The gameplay is extremely buggy and very annoying given the fact that almost all the difficulty comes from the waves. The decoration for a Reverence clone manages to be way worse with even more glow. Relatively an easier cheating compared to everything you may see on this list, although that doesn't mean you should go play it. Moving on to number 17, Crippled Depression makes its appearance, which is a level that is inspired by Conical Depression, obviously by Carmel. I think Crippled Depression compared to Conical Depression has a lot more interesting qualities and generally is pretty decent decoration, although it managed somehow to be even worse than Conical Depression in gameplay and enjoyment. That is an impressive feat in the wrong direction. Next, at number 16, we have Dedohexdragon. This level is a 1.6 GDPS extreme demon that uses its decoration in a core style, which in some areas actually looks pretty neat given the limitations of 1.6 GDPS editor. With all that being said though, the overall level is quite uninteresting compared to other extremes that you can go and play, and obviously the gameplay isn't that great either given the fact that it's number 16 on this list. At number 15, we have another non-surprise pick in Unknown. The gameplay is easily the reason why this is placed here on this list. Compared to most levels on this list, I think that this one is more on the visually impressive side of it, given the fact that I think it has really solid effects and not really a bad design. But too bad the level has to have brutally hard ships and wave sections, holding most of the difficulty, which creates a frustration within the level. Moving forward, we have Monstrosity. This extreme is a Rafer-inspired level filled with extremely tight ships and other choke points lingering throughout. Like Widestep, I don't know too much about this level, so I'm just going to say it's shit given the average rating of the enjoyment and move on to number 13. At number 13, we have Tron by Funny Game. This level is really far away from actually being good. To start off, at the beginning of the level, it has an 8-second cutscene, which may not be the worst thing in the world given the quality, but it's just very annoying if you were to go for this level and you had to sit at the beginning for 8 seconds long. Following after that, there is jank gameplay from start to finish. And to top it off, it is extremely unoptimized, so it's even hard to run this level on full detail without your PC exploding. Ah yes, finally at number 12, we have the infamous and totally unnecessary Sonic Wave remake. This level looks completely underwhelming given the era that it was released in, and like I said earlier, I think it's highly unnecessary for this level to even exist. I would also like to mention that this level is somehow more hated in enjoyment than Sonic Wave Infinity, when that level is just a super buffed version of Sonic Wave. Just something to think about. We have our first former top 1 in Sakupen Hell at number 11. This level back in August of 2016 was the hardest level in the game for a short period of time, claiming the number 1 spot. Although people did not like the gameplay back then, and people don't like the gameplay now. So if you were to beat any former top 1 in the game, you should stay far away from this one in particular. Entering into the top 10, I am completely shocked by this placement. At number 10, we have Atmos, which is one of the best looking extreme demons in my opinion. It really hurts me to see this placement on this list, as I would love to do this level sometime in the future. The only thing I can say is take this placement with a grain of salt, just because it only has 7 opinions, which is the bare minimum to even qualify on the EDEL list anyway. So it could be still enjoyed upon given some time with more opinions coming in. Let's just hope. Next at number 9 we have Mayhem, which in my opinion, like Atmos, is a visually impressive extreme demon. Although I actually understand the reasoning on why this level is so hated, unlike Atmos. Ever since its release, it was widely known that the gameplay is extremely awful due to the bad verification job by Lord Vadercraft. I believe it was one of his first major verifications, so it makes sense it wasn't the greatest. He's gotten better since this project, so at least that's good to hear. Moving on to number 8, Iris of a Puppeteer makes the list. An old former impossible level that recently got verified within the past year that made it onto the list for a short period of time to only have it be pushed off quickly. Overall, a very uninteresting experience with not so friendly gameplay to top it off. I would not play this level. At number 7, we have my personal least favorite extreme demon in Silent Clubstep. I'm not shocked by this placement at all. My hot take is that this level should not be rated at all. I don't care about the history that it may have behind it, and I honestly don't think that should be taken into consideration when making a level rated. The decoration is awful, and obviously the gameplay has no intention of actually being good, it only has the intention of being hard, which is bad, and we shouldn't have levels like this being rated regardless of the history or not. Following Silent Clubstep, we have another top 10 in Abyss of Darkness. I actually think that this level is overhated when it comes to how interesting the level looks. Compared to the rest of the top 10, I think the decoration is above average and doesn't deserve the hate it gets. With that being said though, there obviously isn't any possible way you could defend the gameplay within this level. Obviously it's really bad, and it deserves its spot at number 6. Entering into the top 5, we have SUPERHATEMEWORLD, which for me follows the Silent Clubstep dilemma I was talking about earlier, in which the gameplay wasn't made for actually being good, it was strictly meant to be for straight difficulty. This level managed to be even worse than Silent Clubstep in enjoyment, despite looking slightly better in decoration, especially after its deco update. Next to number 4, we have a very interesting placement in moving forward. This level was released by the legendary creator in Tron 44, but surprisingly it is widely known to be one of the most hated extreme demons in the game. While the level looks more interesting than many things below it, there is obviously something wrong with the gameplay in order for this to be worse than both Silent Clubstep and SUPERHATEMEWORLD. Probably the most shocking placement on this list other than Atmos, just because I didn't expect to see this level at all. Moving on to number 3, we have Ego Killing. I'm gonna let the NLW description take care of this one, as I think it's both funny and accurate, so here it is. Famously terrible Mega Collab that was originally hack verified, which led to it being unrated, then re-rated after a legit verification, which from wolves who left it in all hilarious choke points. So yeah, obviously not a great level given all the circumstances. At number 2, we have the second hardest Extreme Demon in the latest former top 1, in Acheron. This is obviously not a shocker to me and shouldn't be a shocker to you, just because there are only a handful of people who can actually beat a level like this. And when a level gets to that point in difficulty, it really makes sense that it's really hated upon just because there's very little room of error that you can have. This level is destined to give bad and cruel experiences. As for the qualities outside of the gameplay, I actually quite like it a lot. I think it's one of the better top ones we've had as of late. But with the gameplay in mind, obviously it's understandable that it is the second most hated Extreme Demon in the game. Finally, at number 1, the most hated Extreme Demon in the history of Geometry Dash is reeses Potentially. This level has an enjoyment average of 17 out of 100, making it easily the worst. This level was a part of the GD Civilization competition, which had the purpose to make a really bad level. Multiple levels in the competition ended up getting rated like this one, but after the competition was over, most levels got a balance update. Although, reeses Potentially has stayed the same, receiving no updates at all, making it the most unenjoyable Extreme Demon in the game. Even worse than that, both Acheron and Clubstep. And there it is, the top 25 most hated Extreme Demons in Geometry Dash. That wraps up the video. Honestly, kind of surprising that reeses Potentially is that bad, but you'll never see me be playing that. So, like I said earlier, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button below and also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content of mine. I'll have a video up Friday, so stay tuned for that as well. So that'll be it for me. GLIT signing out, and I'll see y'all next video.